Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, second-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they take on Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss. And it'll be 4th down. Jones had 4 years in New England, now in his 3rd with the Cardinals.
And he's really gotten acclimated in the desert, hasn't he? 11 sacks in his first season with the team in 2016. 17 last year, which led the NFL. And how about his last 5 years? 58 sacks, the most in the NFL.
on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Ooh, with a juke. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive, as we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week: 15 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And running back David Johnson was awfully popular in fantasy drafts in 2017, coming off of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Second-round pick in 2015, Eddie Goldman holds down the middle of this defensive line with some toughness, some leverage, and some personality. Understands he's going to be double and sometimes triple teamed on every snap. Does it with a smile, takes on those blockers, and opens up space for his other pass rushers.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Johnson runs through the contact. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now it's Rosen looking. Got a man, it's right. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. His first catch of the game. Good for 11 and a first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist, because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there, because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 22. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on his first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow, because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. 3rd and goal. Rosen. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Dawson's kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Linebacker Hassan Reddick has to be eager for 2018. Gets a chance to hit the reset button a little bit. Played inside and outside linebacker in 2017. Expect him to be unleashing a variety of roles under this new Cardinals staff, led by a defensive-minded head coach.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. This is Cohen. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Throwing here, Trubisky, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return is Peterson. Fights off the defender.
Holding, receiving team.
A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Here's Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Johnson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Green 39.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. It's a 3-point game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They run. This is Cohen. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Trubisky. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now they'll run it with Cohen, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Trubisky finds his target. It's Bellamy, and he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Here's Rosen. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They try the left side with Johnson. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge, getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal.
Here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, the force
first
was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
This one complete to Gresham. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the 10-yard line, here's second and goal. Rosen just getting the snap off and 1. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now the return man, this is Benny Cunningham. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
And now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
It felt like Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, was in the draft room with his general manager, because picking up this pass catcher from Memphis, Anthony Miller, made to order for a young quarterback. A nice slot who can make plays like we just saw.
He is fun to watch. Went from being a walk-on at Memphis to completely rewriting the record books out wide. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey adds the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 2nd down, Rosen. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 3-19.
Rosen will throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Fielded just inside the 20. And now running right through it. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Trubisky now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Again, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Trubisky to throw again. Gets it to Bellamy outright. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
They run with Cunningham. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton.
Holding. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Trubisky. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Over the middle, that's taken in by Bellamy. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. So he got 3 at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. To the right side, complete to Miller. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
On second down, here's Rosen. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Oh, and now he threw an opening, and there he goes. 30. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing. Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Rosen to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson tacks on the point after, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this joint.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On third down, it's Cunningham. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. On third down, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Benny Cunningham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Parkey with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball
Personal
away.
foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Hurry up, here we go. Boo,
first down. It's Rosen. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
First grab for Fitzgerald. He's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll get it up the middle. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people and power his way forward.
Extra point try now for Dawson. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Cunningham now to return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, Trubisky. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Trubisky will throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
I'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Bynes able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now Trubisky to throw. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd down, Johnson. David Johnson on his way. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Green 39.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. To throw is Rosen. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. The rookie Josh Rosen with 3 touchdown passes. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Now Dawson for the extra point. Dawson tacks on the point after, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after him right here. I want to put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football. You've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. They'll run it with Johnson, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Cunningham now to return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Josh Bellamy, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Now it's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. Trubisky to throw again. From left side, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. It's complete. Javon wins the open man. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now Trubisky on first down. And it's caught. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Parkey with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That time a 9-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now This game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. And you know they enjoyed taking that knee because they're now going to be 1-2 instead of 0-3. And psychologically, that's a big difference early in the season.
And it certainly is. It's a big barrier breaker because you get to 0-3, you're not thinking playoffs. At 1-2, you still believe that you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, you feel you got some hope on your side. 0-3, things start to look pretty bleak. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Arizona, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.